Hi, folks. It's 1 minute to midnight here, and I'm just about to finish and go to bed. But I decided to do this vlog because all day today it's been a weird day, and I just wanted to share thoughts that started creeping into my head. Um, I've been thinking about video games, actually, video games and arcade games from my past, from my childhood while growing up. And for some odd reason, I'm trying to think of all the games that I've played that have awesome weaponry, that actually gave us firepower, that you had power-ups, that you actually went and got lives, and got tricks this and tricks that. It's amazing what they've done with video games as the years went on, but I still remember one of my best video games. I have a few. R-Type, for me, was one of the best space games. Simply because you could rearrange the firing pod and it would be virtually indestructible. There's another one, I can't remember what the name of the game was, and you were flying in biplanes, similar to the Red Baron plane, in Prehistoria, and you could actually power up yourself and have something similar to a pod, but the pod itself would rotate around the plane. You'd switch the position depending on what you wanted, but you can only switch it one way, which kind of sucked when you came into it. I still remember some awesome other games. I'm trying to think. The game names don't come to my attention. That's my problem right now. I remember Dig Dug for some odd reason. Super Pac-Man in the arcade version. Pac-Man, there's another one where he basically was Pac-Man Town or something similar to that, where you had Pac-Man and you could actually get secrets by shifting over certain hydrants. And Super Mario Brothers, I still remember when that came out on the arcade. I remember that. I remember Double Dragon when it came out on the arcade. I remember, and this is because when I say I remember, it's actually because I actually played these games in the arcade. I'm trying to think of other games. Well, the Mortal Kombat, the first one. Same with Tekken 1, 2, and 3. Mortal Kombat up to 3. Gauntlet, the new version that they have out in the arcade, which Gauntlet still sucks when you come to think of it, because you're slowly dying a slow death regardless of what you're actually trying to do, because they have you starving yourself away unless you get food, which sucks when you come to think of it. Russian Attack by Konami, when it was available on the arcade. I've finished that game so often on the Nintendo that when I actually went back to the arcade and found a working arcade version, it was amazing how easy it was, because Konami doesn't change from Blades of Steel to whatever else that they have when they bring it into one of the systems that they have, either Nintendo or anything else that they're designed for versus the arcade. It still stays the same. It doesn't really change. Metroid, I hated the original game. I still do. But that's not an arcade game. I'm trying to think of other arcade. Tempest, for all those classic arcade fans. Space Invaders, I hated that game. Galaga or Galaxia were one of my favorites because of the actual special little mini games that you could play. And if anybody remembers Willow, I've never finished a bloody arcade game. And I was at one point, this was when I was in high school. I actually had people paying my game because I was so far into Willow that they've never seen anyone that was actually there. I was actually fighting the troll that gets transformed into I think it's a two-headed dragon, or is it three? Similar to a Hydra anyways, and I couldn't finish it. That was it. That was then. And it was such a pain in the pain in the arse. I could say pain in the ice too, because it was winter time. But it just brings back memories of these games. Like, I remember Mario Brothers, when it was just the pipe game with Luigi and Mario, and you hitting the pipe from underneath, and you then clear the board. Or try to, anyways. Well, amazing. Nowadays, we all get better video games on our PlayStations, our Xboxes, our Wii's. You name the system, computer systems, Mac, PC related. But I still miss the feeling of playing an actual video game, like Don Bluth's Space Ace 1. I don't think he ever did a Space Ace 2, although I think I might be mistaken. Dragon Lair 1 and Dragon Lair 2. I've never been able to actually play those games properly on the arcade, but when they came out on Amiga, it was actually better on the Amiga because of the fact that the reaction time was better calculated than the one right then and there. Because the originals were done on Laserdisc, believe it or not. Laserdisc is the ill-gotten format that appeared and disappeared almost as fast as Betamax. But so such is the technological cookie, and so does it crumble, and it's high-spirited evolution that keeps on going and going. So with that said, folks, I think I've said enough. Just remember, Castlevania is still one of the best vampire games that I've been able to actually play. I hope that you have all enjoyed it, and pray tell me your stories of your favorite arcade games or your favorite box games. I'd be interested in actually seeing what you have to say. Have a nice one.